wanna know who I am? Folks call me the Bone Man. Ain't my real name, but it's the one that stuck. Tonight on Requiem Radio, we keep walking down that long road we started back in episode 46. The Black Bones of Mehea. That old story taught us a crow woman don't just inherit songs. She inherits rooms, walls, air that remembers. And tonight, the walls remember harmony. This is another Delaney Crow Black Bones hymn story called The Night of the Red Dirt Choir. It ain't supernatural, but for an evil man, it's definitely a horror story.
The last time we saw Delaney Crow, she had just murdered her husband by singing him to death. And she moved on with her life. By the time the Briar Patch Tavern had been open 9 months, people already called it a refuge without ever saying the word out loud. The building used to broadcast sermons and farm reports over AM airwaves nobody listened to anymore. Now it carried voices proud, wounded, shaken, finding shape again. From the outside it looked like rust and neon quirks, a tin roof that complained about the weather, parking lot ruts carved by half a century of trucks. But inside was a place no sound system could disinfect. Delaney Crow liked it that way. She built the bar out of intention. Sweet tea, black coffee, water that couldn't lie about how you felt. No excuses for forgetting. No excuses for fearing yourself. Late Friday in November, the door opened soft as wind nudging a barn latch. Jessamine Pike stepped in like prey, uncertain if the world would bite her again. Thin denim jacket, thin voice, thinner confidence. When she asked if this was really that place, the one where women could claim songs instead of borrow them, Delaney didn't advertise validation. She just asked the practical question. Do you need to sing tonight? Jessamine said maybe. Whisper small, like bruises echo small before they turn big. Delaney answered the way her mother and grandmother and all them Crow women answered long before Mehea struck oil. There are no weak voices here, only unclaimed ones. The tavern murmured its approval in floorboard creaks and chair scrape percussion. The women there listened, not to critique, to witness. Then Jessamine said, I didn't come for a regular song, I heard you knew the other kind. And that's when the night inhaled. Before Delaney could speak, a man stepped in who believed obligation was a crowbar he could use on truth. He wasn't a husband, though he claimed authority like one. He was anger brewed into a body, truck headlights behind him, sweat ahead of him. He shouted a name he thought belonged to him. Jessamine! Jessamine, girl, where are you? Delaney didn't match violence with violence. She met it with resonance. A hum, low, controlled, disciplined, rolled out of her lungs like a secret broadcast frequency. The women in the room layered and behind it staggered like pulse checks from nurses who refused to let death clock in early. The hum wasn't dangerous yet. It was measured. A calibration tone for dominion. The man mocked it, but his ridicule wavered. Delaney stepped forward, voice polished not by fury, but by choral geometry. You got 3 breaths to leave, or you'll remember this sound in your nightmares till your name is worn off the world. Those breaths came fast, panicked, shaken, and he left. The hum stopped immediately, like a radio click silent after something important passed through the static. 2 nights later, deputies found him sitting in his truck on a road outside the county, both hands gripping the wheel, eyes vacant, teeth chattering though the world was quiet. He remembered nothing but a tone that he said got inside his teeth. He drove away from the story. Delaney and Jessamine drove toward it. 1 month later, Jessamine stood on that humble cinder block stage and sang a song she wrote herself. Voice quivering, lyrics unfinished, courage fully footnoted. The room held steady, breath held steady, no breeze disputed her existence. No man entered the frequency again. Some swore they heard a faint undertone beneath her voice. A harmony not borrowed, newly coded, woman forged, a life signal still propagating through the rafters like genealogical AM ghost data reclaiming itself. But that harmony wasn't Delaney this time. It was Jessamine. Alive, imperfect, sovereign, finally heard. You don't have to be a crow woman to sing the Black Bones hymn. Just a woman.
You've been listening to Requiem Radio, where music bleeds into the supernatural. And that was another Delaney Crow Black Bones hymn and story called The Night of the Red Dirt Choir. Continuation or not, Limestone County is listening. It don't like loud explanations. It likes echoes that outlive the mouth that spoke them. Delaney Crow, she ain't a rumor. She's a resonance chamber shaped like a woman. Tuned to truths the air ain't learned to filter out yet. A woman's choir rose that night from red dirt and rattled lungs. And wherever that man is driving now, he still hears it in his molars when the world gets too quiet for his comfort. Ain't gonna be no mo tonight. Y'all rest easy. And don't let the dark drive you home.